At the outset, I take this opportunity to thank all of you for coming to attend this function on the first heart transplant done in our unit at SIMS Hospital. And I welcome our chairman, Dr. Ravi Bachamuthu, Dr. Raju Sivasamy, and all my colleagues who are involved in the transplant operation. The transplantation of an organ donation is one of the most divine things anybody can do in this world, because when you are alive, you don't know the value of life. When the first heart transplant was done by Dr. Christian Bernard in 1967, December, the patient survived about 17 days. He died after 17 days of pneumonia. Those days, rejection of the heart was the big problem. Medicines were not known, many medicines. The second heart transplant was done in January 1968, and that patient lived for 19 months. So when the patient survived after 1 year, that is the longest surviving patient after heart transplant, at the end of 1 year there was a function to felicitate him and let the world know about the survival of this patient. So he was asked a question. Mr. Philip, his name was Philip only, how did you feel after the operation, 1 month after operation, 3 months after the operation, 6 months, and at the end of 1 year? Was it, how did you feel? Because the trouble you went through, because after the heart transplant, so many injections, you had to take heart biopsies, so many tests, you will be poked weekly, monthly. It's a lot of trouble. So how did you feel? Was it worth undergoing this operation? So he told Dr. Bernard, the day after the operation, when the tube was removed from my mouth, and I took my first breath and saw the world again, I saw it was worth this whole procedure. So that is the importance of life. Everybody will say that I am not scared to die, but nobody wants to leave this world. So a person who is in a terminal heart failure, whose days are numbered, has a hope to survive by getting a good organ, and he can lead his normal life, is an amazing thing. So the important thing is we have to, there are 2-3 teams involved in this. One is most important thing is the grieving family of the donor. It is very difficult especially when young children, 15 years, 16 years die, to convince the family, and then the family come in all ways to come forward to donate the organ. And as Dr. Raju was mentioning, so many organs are wasted in our country. So mainly this meeting, I want you, all of you, because you are the most important people who can convey the message to the public, that is wasting an organ is a very serious crime. Our people has to be made aware, whatever way you can, you should convey the message to the public. So there was a story I read in the newspaper about 2 years ago, that a multi-millionaire fellow wanted to, he gave an advertisement. He had a 10 million costing Rolls-Royce car. He said he is going to bury this car and give a big advertisement. So thousands of people came to gather to see this million dollar car being buried. So finally, when the car was about to be buried, he didn't lower the car. He said, I wanted all of you to know that you are burying organs worth, it has no value. Every day a dead body is being buried without the organ, with the organs intact, which can be given to other people. So you cannot put a value for a heart or a kidney or a liver or whatever it is. Now all the organs are being used, including pancreas, intestines, even bones, eyes. So it is so important that the knowledge of donating the organs, to make the public aware that it is the most divine thing one can do. Pledging, especially creating awareness in children, and school-going college people, and in general the public. So that is the most difficult thing when somebody dies with an accident. To convince the people is very important. Next is to involve, to do a transplant, it needs a lot of infrastructure and a teamwork to work in coordination, especially when it comes to the heart. Time is very important. You cannot keep the heart a longer time, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours maximum, before that the heart will not work if it is connected to the thing. So the team involved to organize the thing, getting the heart to the hospital where we are being done, so much of coordination is necessary. And I would take the opportunity to thank all of them, because this patient, the unique thing was he had a cardiac arrest about 3 days before, and then we did a study and found out he can be transplanted a heart, because suppose there is some problem with the lung, kidney or any other organ, you cannot do a transplant, it will not last. And he was very lucky that within 4 days of listing he got a transplant. And the hospital facilities, the staff has to be available. I thank the chairman and Dr. Raju for providing all the facilities for us to do this very smoothly. We never had a problem. Every step of the procedure, from getting the heart to transplanting, theatre, anesthetics, infrastructure of the hospital with blood, laboratories, all of those things just went so smoothly, and he had such a smooth post-operative recovery and he has been discharged. So I thank all of my team members who are involved, including all the my colleagues, cardiologists, anesthetists, technical staff, perfusionists, the technical staff in the theatre, all of them, and the transplant coordinator. That's very important, because when the heart is being taken in one place, we are informed that we have to get ready the patient to receive the heart. Otherwise, we lose a lot of time. So thank you once again for coming, and it's my humble request to all of you. Most important thing is, the thanks to the development in immunology, the long-term results of organ transplant has increased so much. The first patient who had transplant lived only for 19 days, I said. But I was referring the literature to the longest surviving heart transplant patient was 40 years he lived after the transplant. So as science progresses, technology progresses, so many things are possible. But one has the mind and the generosity to donate organs, which has to be created in all our people. That is your responsibility. I'm sure all of you will take it seriously and spread this message of organ donation. Thank you. My colleague will present the case next. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing the experience. Now I welcome Dr. Shilpa Menon, Consultant Interventional Cardiologist, to share her insights.
So, thank you very much for this opportunity. In the patient actually, February first week, first in the hospital, January varaikkum he was almost normal. IT professional, regular cab pick up pandra point he was absolutely living a normal life with his wife and child. And February pola he started having breathlessness. So romba moochu vaanga aarambichu patient kitta. அதிலிருந்து அவங்க எப்படியோ கேள்விப்பட்டு இங்கே SIMS ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் வந்தாங்க. அப்போ பாண்டிச்சேரியில் இருந்தாங்க. He came here to SIMS hospital. So first நான் தேங்க் பண்ண வேண்டியது டாக்டர் பிரமோதேஸ்வரன் சார் தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேஷண்ட் பார்த்தாங்க. பட் தென் he felt that இது very young patient may benefit from transplantனு சொல்லிட்டு கூப்பிட்டு he handed over the patient to us. And first visitலே நாங்கள் பேசிட்டோம். ஏன்னா usually there are multiple ways of treating patients with heart failure. அதில் ஒன்று பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மெடிசின்ஸ், இன்னொன்று டிவைஸ் தெரப்பீஸ் இருக்கு. வேற இது எதுவுமே முடியலன்னா இல்லை
You can use my mic.
One second.
You can use this one.
So, இப்போ கேக்குதா? Yeah. Multiple ways of treating patients with heart failure. ஒன்று மருந்து, இன்னொன்று டிவைஸ் தெரபிஸ், ரீசிங்க்னைசேஷன் தெரப்பி, விதவிதமான அசிஸ்ட் டிவைசஸ் இருக்கு இப்போ. இதெல்லாம் சூட்டபிள் இல்லைன்னா then the option is to go for transplant. So first patient வந்த போதே we have told him that நாங்கள் மெடிசன் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி பார்க்குறோம், டாலரேட் பண்ணுறாங்களா, ஒரு க்ளோஸ் ஃபாலோஅப் வச்சுக்க வேண்டியதாக இருக்கும். அதில் இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட்ஸ் தெரிஞ்சால் ஓகே, இல்லாட்டி we will have to consider early transplant in a very young age and he will benefit from doing it so that he has a better quality of life. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் சொல்லி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் விசிட் கழிஞ்சு அவங்க திரும்ப பாண்டிச்சேரி கிளம்பி வித்தின் மேபி ஒரு 3 weeks திரும்ப ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் வந்தாங்க. இந்த வாட்டி மறுபடியும் இன்னும் மூச்சு வாங்குதுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ ஹி ரிக்வயர்ட் இன்டென்சிஃபிகேஷன் ஆஃப் டயோட்டிக், தட் இஸ் இந்த வாட்டர் பில்னு சொல்லுவோம். அது கொஞ்சம் டோஸ்லாம் ஜாஸ்தி பண்ணிட்டேன். ஆனால் இட் வாஸ் ஜஸ்ட் கோஇன்சிடென்ஸ் தட் அப்போ தான் டாக்டர் ராஜீவ் டொராண்டோலேருந்து ரிட்டர்ன் வந்தாங்க. ஸோ we were able to get him in touch with Dr. Rajiv and we started the process of explaining what transplant is and இது எப்படி பெனிஃபிஷியலாக இருக்கும் அதெல்லாம் நாங்கள் அப்பவே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் ஐ திங்க் ஒரு 2 months he was able to manage. கொஞ்சம் முன்ன பின்ன இருக்கும் மெடிசின்ஸ், அவரால் டாலரேட் பண்ண முடியாமல் இருக்கும், அந்த படுத்தா மூச்சு வாங்குறது அந்த மாதிரி சிம்டம்ஸ்லாம் வரப்போ திரும்பவும் எங்களை காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணுவோம், இன்க்ரீஸ் சம் சர்டன் மெடிகேஷன்ஸ். ஆனால் இட்ஸ் ஸோ ஹேப்பன் தட் ஒரு மே எண்ட் போல் நாங்கள் பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தோம், இந்த மாதிரி இந்த பேஷண்ட்டுக்கு நம்ம கூப்பிட்டு shall we do the study to assess him for transplant. அந்த சமயத்தில் தான் பேஷண்ட் ஃபேமிலி காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணும்போது அவர் ரொம்ப சிம்டமேட்டிக் ஆகி பாண்டிச்சேரியிலே ஒரு ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் அட்மிட் ஆயிருக்காங்கன்றது எங்களுக்கு தெரிய வருது. அந்த சமயத்தில் ஓகே சரி, இஸ் நவ் பிகமிங் ஈவன் மோர் சிம்டமேட்டிக், அதனால இதுக்கு மேலே நம்மளால டைம் we cannot give him more time to wait, அதனால கூப்பிட்டு இங்கே கூட்டின்னு வர சொல்லிட்டோம். ஸோ இங்கே சென்னை சிம்ஸ் வந்த பிறகு initial few days in ICU, ஓரளவுக்கு he stabilized and we were able to shift him out of the ICU. ஆனால் ஐசியூலேருந்து வந்து வார்டுக்கு போன பிறகும் அவரால் எழுந்து பாத்ரூம் போகிறதே கொஞ்சம் பெரிய விஷயமா இருந்தது. நைட்டுக்கு சரியாக தூங்க முடியல, இந்த மாதிரியெல்லாம் இருந்தது. அதனால we were also thinking சரி கொஞ்சம் ஒரு 1 or 2 days பெட்டர் ஆன பிறகு we'll plan to do the right heart catheterization சொல்லுவோம், to check for suitability for transplant. சார் சொன்ன மாதிரி லங்ஸ் ஓகேவா இருக்கா, மற்றதெல்லாம் மற்ற ஆர்கன்ஸ் ஓகேவா இருக்கா, புது ஹார்ட் வச்சா அது சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குமா என்னன்னு தெரியுதுக்காக. ஸோ இது பிளான் பண்ணுற சமயத்தில் தான் பேஷண்ட்டுக்கு திடீர்னு ஒரு நைட் கார்டியக் அரெஸ்ட் வந்துச்சு. அண்ட் அடுத்த நாள் காலையில் தான் வைஃப் சொன்னாங்க, ஆக்சுவலாக அன்னைக்கு அவரோட பர்த்டே. ஸோ பர்த்டே அன்னைக்கு he had a cardiac arrest. ஆனால் இன் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் நடந்ததுனால we were able to successfully resuscitate him. Within ஒரு maybe 10 minutes he was fully resuscitated. வென்டிலேட்டர்லாம் கனெக்ட் பண்ணி ஐசியூ ஷிஃப்ட் பண்ணி விட்டோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் சீக்கிரமாக ஒரு 2-3 daysக்குள்ளே he became much better. சரி இதுக்கு மேலே we don't have time என்ற சிச்சுவேஷனில் we went ahead with doing the procedure, that is right heart study. பார்த்தா he was a suitable candidate and I think within 2 days or 3 days after that we did the formal registration. So Tamil Nadu transplant registry இருக்கு, அதில் patient register பண்ணோம். Registration பண்ணி he was very lucky. 4வது நாளே we got a donor alert. Donor alert actually ஒன்றும் இல்லை, we got 2-3 donor alerts. ஆனால் 2 hearts were not suitable for him, patient profile மேல. 3rd one was suitable and immediately things were put into motion. அதுக்கு தான் I have to say that hospital management, transplant team, transplant coordinators ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஏன்னா அவங்க த்ரூ தான் நமக்கு எல்லா இன்ஃபர்மேஷனும் வரும். ஸோ இங்கேருந்து டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் டீம் போய் அந்த இன்னொரு ஹாஸ்பிட்டல், டோனர் இருக்கிற ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போய் எல்லாம் அசஸ்மெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு they came back and then again the organ retrieved panni we brought the organ back and I think 3 to 4 hours kulla surgery was completed. 3 to 4 hours kulla surgery was completed and he was brought to the and within 3 to 4 hours the surgery was successfully completed. We shifted him to the ICU. In 2 days kapram he was taken off the ventilator and then after that it was a relatively smooth process. Patient was on the road to recovery and he was also very optimistic. Romba kashtam patient you nama we have to appreciate. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் வச்சுட்டு அந்த டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் ஐசியூன்றது உங்களுக்கு இட்ஸ் அ ஃபுல்லி க்ளோஸ்ட் ரூம், எந்த லைட்டும் வராது ஒன்றும் வராது. அந்த இடத்துல ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 10 days அவர் இருந்தார். And he was also very optimistic the entire time. He cooperated with us. நாங்கள் என்ன கேர் கொடுத்தாலும் patient has to be mentally able to cope with the isolation of it and all of those things. And he was very cooperative, and we see him sitting here today much better. இப்போ symptoms எல்லாமே அவருக்கு நல்லா குறைஞ்சிருச்சு. He is somewhat normal. Mask எல்லாம் போட்டு உட்கார்றதுக்கு reason because he is immunocompromised. In the transplanted heart reject ஆகாம இருக்கிறதுக்கு we have to give him multiple medications to suppress the immunity. அதனால he is immunocompromised, but otherwise he is doing quite well. I am very proud of that. And it's very important to emphasize the importance of teamwork. Clinical departments, non-clinical departments, laboratory, pathology, everybody has to work together to make something like this possible. Without much delay, I would like to hand over the mic to Dr. Rajiv.
Can I request ma'am to share some few words? Patients, please.
Hello everyone. My wife actually is 31 years old. நாங்கள் இப்போ கண்டுபிடிக்கும் போது எனக்கு ஒரு ஹோப்பே இல்லை, இதுலேருந்து வெளில வருவோமா என்ன இதுன்னு. பட் இங்கே வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் பாஷா சாராக இருக்கட்டும், முஸ்லீமாக இருக்கட்டும், ரொம்ப எங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க எல்லா வேஸ்லேயும். எவ்ரி வேஸ், ஆப்ரேஷன் முன்னாடி இருக்கட்டும், ஆப்ரேஷனுக்கு அப்புறமும் இருக்கட்டும், ஈவன் ஃப்ரம் த வார்ட் பாய், ஃப்ரம் த நர்சஸ், எல்லாருமே டு த கோர் கேர் கொடுத்தாங்க. அது எல்லாருக்குமே எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் தேங்க்ஸ் டு எவ்ரி ஒன், சார், டு த டீம், எல்லாருக்கும். நான் எப்போ கால் பண்ணாலும் இமீடியட்லி they'll pick up answer. அது எந்த டைமாக இருந்தாலும், ஈவன் if மிட் நைட் 3 o'clock 2 o'clock இருந்தாலும் இமீடியட்டாக they'll answer. சொல்லுங்க என்னாச்சு, how he is, from the day one இப்போ வரைக்கும். ஸோ and really thankful to everyone, SIMS Hospital, Bashida, and whole team of Bashida. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Patient.
Shall we send?
Yeah, sure. And I'm like,
Would you like to send? Mask எடுக்க வேண்டாம். Wear the mask. Wear the mask.
ரொம்ப ஓப்பனாக இருந்தாங்க. என்ன மெடிசன் கொடுக்குறாங்க, என்ன இதுன்ட்டு ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருந்தாங்க. என்ன ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குறதுக்கு ஓப்பனாக என்கிட்டையும் சொன்னாங்க, ப்ளஸ் விசிட்டர்ஸ்டையும் சொன்னாங்க. ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. நைட் கூட கால் பண்ணி சிஸ்டர்கிட்ட பேசுவாங்க, என்ன இருக்காரு, எப்படி இருக்காரு, இந்த மெடிசன் கொடுத்தீங்களா அப்படின்னு.
mask இருக்கு.
தேங்க்யூ ராஜீவ் சார், பாசி சார். இப்போ மேம் இல்லாட்டி அவங்க இல்லைனா இப்போ மேக்ஸிமம் 9 years சார். பட் தேங்க்யூ டு எவ்ரிவன்.
எல்லாரும் பேசியாச்சா?
Yeah, that is when we can send the
I request
patient.
the council to share some few words.
நான் பேசிட்டு
Yeah, we can send him. We want to send him back because we want to take a proper representation.
I'll finish in 2 minutes. I take this opportunity to thank the press and media members who are gathered here to take what has happened, the message, what has happened in SIMS. And another thing, our Dr. Bashi and team, they are well known for their services, concern toward the patient. The quality of the surgery is worldwide known. The entire team, which is trained by Dr. Bashi. Not only that, I personally feel today the organ donation, we have to develop the character, that attitude in our mind. Because when a person is dying or some RTAs are happening, just we are burying the body. As he said, the example of a millionaire story. So we should change it. We should start like organ, already we have organ bank. So we should try to donate our bodies or the organs to who are all needy. The donation means not only giving money. The organ donation is also one way of, because otherwise it's going to be either buried or fired. So my personal view, we should all have the mindset to donate our bodies to the who are all needed. I don't want to take much of your time because the patient is waiting. I congratulate the entire team of our hospital, who has taken part with social responsibility and delivered successfully. Thank you, one and all.
See, as per the existing law, medical legal thing in India, the donation of the heart is brain dead only. See, heart can be donated like Dr. Rajiv has explained. One is patient is brain dead. That means brain is totally gone, but the heart will be functioning. So that most of the cases after assessment in a healthy person, young person, associated heart is sometimes heart hole would donor heart. If the hole is there, we will close, correct it, and the heart can be used in a younger patients. That is one thing. Other thing is, as he mentioned, in Sydney only, first time it was done in 2015. That is, if somebody is brain dead, but the heart is still beating. Heart will beat, oxygen is going into the lungs, still he is breathing spontaneously. In the end, the heart will just stop. So those type of heart, that machine is there where it supplies oxygenated blood into the heart. So adile keep giving blood and see how the heart is performing. Some heart may not be usable in these type of hearts where the heart stops by itself and resuscitates the heart. But few of them are usable. So aduvanda we can get more donors. If India on the brain dead only we are using that. If they can get this also passed medically legally, then we will get more donors. But we need machines to transport, and in the machine you can transport for longer distances and maybe few hours the heart will withstand because blood supply is going into the heart. Whereas at the moment what we are doing is stopping the heart and then transporting it to the nearest place by air and then green corridor. Up to 3-4 hours the heart is stopped already. Other machines probably we will be getting it soon. I think, is it available here?
It's not available.
Not available. So that abroad and all, they put this on the machine and supply blood to the heart. Heart will keep on beating because it is like normal. Oxygenated blood is going into the coronary artery, supplying the heart and the muscle. So it will withstand hours of transportation without any problem because distances, especially I was talking to somebody in the US. So from California to New York, they can transport the heart. Because the whole country, they have only one system. Wherever who is listed in priority, whichever may be the state, the heart will be transported. So effective is the system there. Because people are, so many patients are, whatever artificial resuscitative measures like artificial implantation of artificial heart, inside, all those things, artificial pumps inside the heart. Adhikella side effect is there because anticoagulants, battery to be connected from outside. The best treatment of heart failure today is heart transplantation. Because all other things have its own problems. If our artificial heart left ventricular assist device that is expensive. It may cost like 50-75 lakhs. The battery has to be connected outside to work. The patient has to carry the infection or blood thinning tablets. So it's sort of there are people living like that, but it's not, especially in our situation, it is not as good as the results in other countries because they are very well organized. The transplant is a separate department just to look after the patients, separate cardiologists are there visiting different hospitals, patients restoration, follow-up. We don't have at present that sort of facilities in our country. So we are doing with the limited facilities what we can do. What is ideal is not practicable. If you wait for an ideal situation, we will never do anything in this country. So we have to modify things and make sure we do things almost the same level in the other parts of the world. So finance, insurance, all these are big problems.
After transplantation, can the patient be lead a normal life?
Absolutely. Important, that is the important thing. See if a patient is taking enough medicines, tests are done properly. Because these medicines also are expensive. What happens is unless they can afford to take this medicine, doing a transplant sometimes may not be a good thing also. If they cannot afford, suddenly their longevity is less. That is why the people living after transplant, taken care of, they can lead a normal life, 20 years, 15 years. A lot of people living, doing all normal, even mountaineering, playing tennis, all those people are doing.
Sir, any age limit is there?
Age limit as such, it's 65, 65 or
Up to, see, that depends, most probably we prefer taking donors up to 40 years, but beyond 40 years, then we have to assess them further. Up to 50 and 55 we do take.
You are talking about recipient or donor?
Donors, that's what they are.
I don't know. Yes.
Oh, recipient.
Yeah, must be.
Recipient,
You are asking about recipient or donor?
Donor.
Donor.
Donor, what I said is right. We usually assess patients up to 40 years, and beyond 40 years, then we have to evaluate them further, because some patients might be having coronary artery, coronary artery disease, so we have to evaluate them. Then further, after the heart is found to be good, then we can go ahead with the transplantation.
Our age is nearly 20-25 years.
Yeah, we can do it.
We can donate. That suits for above 60 years patients.
Above 60 years, no. We usually don't go ahead with old people, older donors, because they might have associated cardiac disease. So we usually prefer young donors, preferably less than 40 years.
Dr. Rajiv?
Yes.
So what is the rejection rate after transplant in India and whole world?
So the rejection rate is up to 5 to 8%, if I'm right, for the DVD donors, for the brain dead donors, and it's almost the same in India. The main cause for rejection is the adherence to the medications that the patients are taking. So if they're adherent, they're compliant, then they can survive for a longer period of time without rejection. So if you're talking about immediate rejection, it's just about 5 to 8%.
Sir, how long period does the patient need to meditate, sir?
I didn't get your question. Sorry.
Patient, how long period he needs the meditation?
Medications. So it's lifelong. He is on an immunosuppressant, which reduces the immunity so that the chance for rejection of the donor heart is less. We are reducing his immunity so that he doesn't develop antibodies against the donor heart. So it's a lifelong treatment.
சார் அந்த ஆர்கன் எவ்வளவு நேரம் டிராவல் ஆச்சு சார் எவ்வளவு நேரத்துல 4 ஹவர்ஸ்ல ஆபரேட் பண்ணிட்டீங்க கொண்டு வந்தது எவ்வளவு நேரம் எப்படி கொண்டு வந்தீங்க
It's within 20 minutes and by road.
எங்க இருந்து எங்க
So any special permissions வாங்கிருந்தீங்களா?
No, we didn't ask for any permission. It was done in the early morning, so we had no issues. No. It was early in the morning, so we didn't have
From where you ordered this RO?
It's just private hospital there, within Chennai.
Within Chennai, we are for confidentiality of the donor, we are not supposed to medically tell you where and whose body heart has been. It has been in the city of Chennai only. So we didn't ask for a green channel because the police were willing to give us, because it is. I must tell you that Tamil Nadu is the most organized sector in organ transplant. We should be all proud of that, because cardiomyopathy, see, cardiomyopathy could be primarily muscle weakness thaniya varalam. So many varieties are there. Heart muscle romba hypertrophy hypertrophic cardiomyopathy vera oru vishayam. That is all genetically acquired only. அப்புறம் வந்து severe valve heart disease வந்துட்டு operation பண்ண patient, they go into heart failure. No way we can treat with the medicine. Heart attack வந்துட்டு bypass பண்ண patient heart failure வரலாம். Young patients like 50-year-old, multiple blocks, stenting, 2-3 heart operations, patient persistent heart failure, we do transplant. Then children with complicated heart problem by birth, they also undergo operations initially, because this is the last resort. Heart transplantation, everybody think, if you put a new heart, everything is fine. It's not like that. As we are telling about the problems related to taking medicines, taking tests and all those things. So we try all the measures because if heart failure, medicines, advanced treatments are there medically, a lot of them can manage. When the patient is not able to carry out his normal activities with optimal medications, maximum medicine, effective only we advise transplant. It is so. There are many indications. Other than this cardiomyopathy is one of them.
Sir, heart transplant cardio arrest patients problem challenges
heart we support the body with heart lung machine. Now, a heart transplant patient donor heart clear we put the patient on heart lung machine. About heart and lungs we stop. So the function of the body is taken by the heart lung machine. Then we connect the donor heart to the recipient like in the video he showed. And then give blood to this heart. Heart will take over, will disconnect the heart lung machine. Appadithaan work pandrathu. Because heart he has to be alive, at the end of the operation, otherwise patient will be brain dead. All the organs will go. So once we make sure, okay, the donor heart is good, the heart is going to come, say X amount of time, on the way there is no problem, then only we wheel the patient inside, open the chest, put the patient in heart lung machine, remove the heart and put it. So that is what the importance of transplant coordination. They are very important part of this team. We are all in a WhatsApp group. Okay, heart is stopped. How? Whole thing. I think we every 20 minutes.
Explant to implant was around 4.5 hours.
No. The surgery as such was within 1 hour.
Surgery was 1 hour.
Within an hour we finished.
See,
to do this operation, the first time we are doing the operation is when we do much more complex operations than heart transplant. Technically, it is, of course, difficult operation, but I won't say it is very complicated, especially when you are doing like a patient who had already had a heart operation, doing a transplant is a little more difficult. When somebody like this boy who comes, usually we finish the stitching in about half an hour to 45 minutes. Actual time to stitch the heart will be 45 minutes in experienced hands. And then we will have to support the heart. Sometimes, if a transplant you give blood to the heart may not pick up by itself immediately. So, heart lung machine, the first heart transplant we did, I had to support the patient in another hospital where I was there before. Support the heart for 3 hours. I thought the heart will not pick up. Heart lung machine, we have got other supporting measures. We can support it for days. Some patients, especially heart, lung, and transplant, we called ECMO, which was put for our previous chief minister. She was put on that ECMO support. That is available. Life support it is. You can put for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. No problem. Heart may recover. So all those support systems are unfortunately. In our setup, all this comes with a price. It's all expensive measures. Everything is available, we have. So one has to, spend a lot of money for all these things. That is the only thing, because we don't have a health insurance to a large level. These are all, we can't predict. When you accept a patient, we can't predict, okay, X amount of time, X amount of money it will be over. No. If you are lucky, everything goes well, everything is fine. Then repeat. Yeah.
Sir, totally
Congratulations, sir.
operation.
See, the group includes, I don't know, maybe about 50 people will be there. If you look at all the things involved from transportation to coordination. See, I was waiting, I was walking from my house with my shirt in my hand to reach where the ambulance was coming from the hospital, because they informed me, sir, everything is ready, come. So I ran from my house even without telling my wife, because we wanted to reach as fast as possible. Ambulance could not turn into my house, so 50 meters I ran to get into the ambulance, and Padafat we came at 5:30. So I'm just telling an example. So we all are on our toes when we do these things, because time is important in life, and time is very important.
Congratulations for providing excellent infrastructure for the process. So what would be your suggestion to the government?
Question to you.
Actually, after seeing this and before what we were discussing, we will give a request to the government how it is treated in other countries. We will request the central government and state government to give the permission. What they explain, we will try to get it done. Not only that, and our team, all our group, our doctors, actually I have to appreciate them on this juncture, not the management alone. They themselves are having the international views and ideas and the exposure to serve the nation and the public. I have to appreciate and congratulate the entire team of SIMS Hospital.
சார் இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் வந்து இப்போ நீங்க வந்து இந்த டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் பண்றோம் இது சொன்ன உடனே ஓகே சொல்லிட்டீங்களா?
அவங்க எல்லாருமே கரெக்டாக அவங்க ஆக்ட் ஆன் தேர் ஓன் பிகாஸ் இது பீங் a hospital. Everybody has their own responsibility. அதனால அவங்க என்ன பண்ணணுமோ அந்த ப்ரொசீஜரை இமீடியட்டாக அவங்க பாட்டுக்கு தேவைப்படுவாங்க. ஏதாவது ஒரு அப்நார்மல்னா தான் நம்மக்கிட்ட வருவாங்க. ஃபஸ்ட்டு செகண்டுன்னு கிடையாது. பிகாஸ் டெய்லி இஆரில் பேஷண்ட் இருப்பாங்க, நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கும். They are all responsibility.
சார் இப்போ இந்த உடல் உறுப்புகள்லாம் வேணும்னா பதிவு பண்றது, இந்த டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட்லாம் எப்படி கவர்மெண்ட்ல செயல்படுதுன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? எல்லாருமே பிரைவேட்டுக்கு வர முடியாது. இப்போ காஸ்ட்லாம் எவ்வளோ ஹைக்கா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இது கவர்மெண்ட்ல வந்து இது ஈஸியாக கிடைக்கணும், என்னெல்லாம் பண்ணணும், இந்த டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் எப்படி டெவலப் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க சார்?
இப்போ வந்து கவர்மெண்ட்ல சர்டன் ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸ் டாக்டர் சொன்ன மாதிரி நம்ம தமிழ்நாடு ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்டாக இருக்காங்க. ஸ்ட்ரிக்டாக இருக்கிறது தப்பு இல்லை. அதே சமயம் நிறைய தேவைகள் இருக்குது. சயின்ஸ் அண்ட் டெக்னாலஜி டெய்லி வளர்ந்துட்டு இருக்கு. ப்ராப்பராக நம்ம சோஷியல் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டியோட ஏன்னா நிறைய இடத்துல மிஸ்யூஸும் பண்ணுறாங்க. அது இல்லாமல் நம்ம வந்து டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட்டுக்கு ஃபுல் பர்மிஷன் கொடுக்கணுங்கிறது என்னுடைய கருத்து. இன்சூரன்ஸும் அதே மாதிரி பார்த்தா நிறைய பேர் சொல்கிறாங்க இப்போ வந்து இவ்வளவு தான் வேல்யூ அவ்வளோ வேல்யூன்னு. அதை வந்து இன்னும் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணலாம். பப்ளிக்கு அவங்க வேணுங்கிற மாதிரி இன்சூரன்ஸ் எடுத்துக்கிறதுக்கு பாலிசிஸை பெருசு பண்ணணுன்றது என்னுடைய கருத்து வைக்கிறேன்.
சார் இப்போ இது 20 மினிட்ஸ்ல இதை கொண்டு வந்து நம்ம பண்ணியிருக்கோம். இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர்லாம் நம்ம கிட்ட நீங்க முன்கூட்டியே இருந்ததா இல்லை இப்போதான் நம்ம?
இல்லை, நமக்கு எப்பவுமே அந்த மாதிரி இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் எல்லாத்துக்குமே இருக்குது. வாட் எவர் சாருக்கு சுற்று அவர் டாக்டருக்கு சொன்ன மாதிரி ஹார்ட் லங் மிஷின்லேருந்து எல்லாமே வாட் எவர் ஹியர் பெஸ்ட் குவாலிட்டி மிஷின்ஸ் இன் அவர் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல். அதில் காம்ப்ரமைஸ் கிடையாது. பெஸ்ட் ஹேண்ட்ஸ் மோர் தென் தி இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்ஸ் எக்யூப்மெண்ட், பெஸ்ட் ஹேண்ட்ஸ். அதே போல் என்னுடைய இது என்னென்னா நம்ம டீம் வந்து ஈகோ இல்லாமல் டாக்டர் சொன்னாங்க டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டை கூட சேர்த்துக்கிட்டாங்க. டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்லேருந்து டாக்டர்ஸ் வரைக்கும் தே ட்ரீட் வெரி வெல். ஸோ அது மாதிரி ஒரு எண்ணம் கொண்டவங்களால தான் செயல்படுத்தணும்.